Today, we're diving into a tense, absolutely suffocating 1-0 match. We're talking about a game of incredibly fine margins that managed to keep Manchester City's domestic treble hopes alive. So, get comfortable, because this is the story of the 2026 FA Cup final. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. How do you unlock a defense that just refuses to be broken? Imagine the absolute silence of anticipation hanging in the air. That was the ultimate tactical gridlock facing Manchester City at Wembley. It was a giant puzzle, demanding an absolute masterpiece to solve it.
Section 1. The Wembley Stalemate. 83,337. Just let that number sink in for a second. Over 83,000 fans packed into Wembley Stadium. And you know, the early moments of this match, they weren't these flashy end-to-end attacks. Oh no, it was a high-stakes chess game. The heavy, almost suffocating pressure of that massive crowd weighed on every single touch. One wrong move, and it meant absolute defeat.
So Chelsea actually succeeded in making the first half a complete spectacle of nothingness. And honestly, I mean that as a massive compliment to their tactics. Their disciplined back five just completely stifled City, robbing them of the one thing they absolutely need to thrive, which is space. Manchester City's first half attack entirely shut down.
Now, what's really interesting about these early minutes is how the missed moments steadily built the tension into a literal pressure cooker. We had Reece James barged off the ball by Erling Haaland, but the resulting cross? It fizzed to absolutely no one. Then, Haaland actually put the ball in the back of the net, but Matheus Nunes had straight offside. We even saw Enzo Fernández escape a red card for a really heavy two-footed challenge. And right before the half, Haaland fired straight at Robert Sanchez. It was just frustration upon frustration.
Section 2. Semenyo's flash of brilliance.
At halftime, City knew they had to adapt. The ineffective Omar Marmoush was withdrawn for Ryan Cherki. And just 2 minutes after the break, Antoine Semenyo headed inches over. You could really feel the anticipation building for a spark. And then, boom, the 72nd minute. A completely stolid, lockdown final was entirely broken open by a single, hyper-realistic moment of individual magic. The momentum of the whole game violently and beautifully shifted right then and there.
Okay, let's break this incredible improvisation down step by step, because it is just amazing. Step 1. Bernardo Silva feeds Haaland into the right channel. Step 2. Haaland pitches a perfectly weighted cross. Step 3, and this is where it gets crazy. Antoine Semenyo is tightly marshaled, but he does the unthinkable. He literally dummies the ball right through his own legs. I mean, who does that in a final? And step 4, a deliberate right boot flick across Robert Sanchez straight into the corner. Absolutely breathtaking.
Section 3. Chelsea's heartbreak and frustration.
But, as we all know, the soaring highs of football are almost always met with devastating lows. Just moments after going down, Chelsea had their golden chance. Enzo Fernández is right there inside the 6-yard box. He flicks the header and it goes inches over the roof of the goal. Literally inches. It was such a glorious, heartbreaking miss. And the devastating reality for Chelsea was that they wouldn't get another chance. While Cherki was later denied by a flying save from Sanchez at the other end, that specific miss from Fernández was the true turning point of Chelsea's despair.
And the post-match comments brilliantly illustrate the bitter aftermath of that match. Interim boss Callum McFarlane stated, "Anywhere else on the pitch, they are a foul." I think that quote perfectly captures Chelsea's bitter complaints about the heavy, unpunished collisions and the incredibly fine margins that ultimately decided their fate.
Section 4. Pep's treble chasing rules.
So while Chelsea lamented, City's manager had absolutely zero time for sentimentality. His post-game mandate was just ruthless. He said players are going home to prepare. They are not allowed to have even one beer. Think about that for a second. You've just won the FA Cup at Wembley, but celebrations are strictly forbidden. No parties. Just total focus on the next mission.
Let's zoom out and see how this all builds, because to understand this relentless pursuit, you really have to look at the timeline they're facing. Back in March, they secure the Carabao Cup. May 16th, they get this exhausting FA Cup victory. And looming right around the corner on Tuesday, the Premier League title race continues, away against Bournemouth. It is a grueling, totally unforgiving schedule, required to capture a domestic treble. Which brings us to our final thought today. If this truly is Pep Guardiola's final season in charge of Manchester City, is a domestic treble the ultimate mic drop? It's a really fascinating question as this historic run unfolds. Thank you so much for exploring this phenomenal match with me in this explainer. So, what do you think?